The world held its breath. It was a fragile peace. The Great War, the one they said would end all wars, had left deep scars across Europe. In Germany, the Treaty of Versailles was not a peace treaty. It was a humiliation. The people felt it in their bones. A man named Adolf Hitler saw this anger. He promised to restore Germany's pride. He promised to make the country strong again. In Italy, Benito Mussolini captivated a nation searching for order amid chaos. His black shirts marched through the streets, a symbol of rising fascism. The Great Depression made everything worse. It swept across the globe like a plague. Economies collapsed, millions lost their jobs. In this desperation, extreme ideas took root. Strong leaders who promised simple solutions became more appealing. The stage was being set for tragedy. On September 1st, 1939, the storm finally broke. German tanks and planes swarmed across the border into Poland. They called it Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War. Poland fought bravely. Their cavalry charged against German tanks, but they were outmatched. The invasion was swift and devastating. Britain and France delivered an ultimatum to Germany: withdraw your troops, or war will exist between us. Hitler ignored it. On September 3, 1939, the Second World War officially began. But for months nothing happened. They called it the Phony War. In May 1940, the German war machine turned west. They punched through the dense Ardennes forest, catching Allied forces completely by surprise. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers were pushed back to Dunkirk. Under constant attack, a civilian armada rescued over 300,000 soldiers. France fell soon after. The war was now a struggle between two great alliances. The Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, were united by their ambitions for expansion and supremacy. Opposing them were the Allied powers, led by Churchill's defiant Britain, later joined by Roosevelt's America and Stalin's Soviet Union. In June 1941, Hitler broke his pact with Stalin and launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. The sleeping giant of America was awakened to war. A major turning point came in the frozen ruins of Stalingrad. The battle raged from late 1942 into early 43, one of the bloodiest in human history. The Soviets refused to break. They launched a massive counteroffensive, encircling the entire German army. The myth of German invincibility was shattered. The greatest turning point came on June 6, 1944, D-Day. Over 150,000 Allied soldiers landed on the heavily fortified beaches of Normandy. The fighting was savage, but the soldiers held on. They established a beachhead. This was the beginning of the end for Hitler's Germany. Life changed completely during the war. Women went to work in factories, everything was rationed, everyone did their part in this total war. The war brought out the worst of humanity. The Holocaust was systematic genocide.